Hi everyone, my name is Yannick Dida and I'm leading the BareMetal and storage activities in OVHcloud. Today I'm very happy to welcome our guest, Param from Nutanix.
Thank you, Yannick. I'm glad to be here. And I'm very excited about the Nutanix and OVHcloud partnership and very excited to talk to you.
Let's have a look at our agenda. We will start by looking at the market, the rationale. Then we will be looking at the platform capabilities. And finally, we'll be live chatting with you. Sounds good, Param?
Absolutely.
As you may have heard, recently, Forrester recognized OVHcloud as the European leader in the OC private cloud segment. As part of this segment, hyperconvergence is gaining a lot of traction. A lot of enterprise comes to OVHcloud for a variety of reasons. The best price and performance ratio, the security and data privacy, our global presence, our transparency. But most importantly, our ability to scale.
That's great, Yaniv. Why don't we talk about what is the offer? What is the partnership between Nutanix and OVHcloud in your own words? The audience would love to know that.
Definitely, Param. In order to better serve our customers, we wanted to bring the best of breed of both worlds. A number of those customers have asked us to enable more choices, more options when it comes to the software stacks that they want to use. We are very happy to share with you that very soon we will enable Nutanix software stacks on OVHcloud infrastructure. And our ultimate goal is for you guys to be able to enjoy Nutanix clusters like home with OVHcloud. And you will do that on the next generation of hardware that we will propose to you very soon. And most importantly, it's about which type of problems are we trying to solve for our customers. And here is an example of type of use cases that we'll be able to address thanks to these partnerships. Data center evacuation, hybrid multi-cloud, cloud native type of applications, or even, data center recovery, disaster recovery, and all those type of workloads. So moving forward, Param, tell me about the capabilities of Nutanix platform.
Thank you, Yanni. Yes. So as you know, Nutanix is the market leader in the HCI hyperconverged infrastructure space. And Nutanix hyperconverged infrastructure is a software-defined IT infrastructure that virtualizes all aspects of the conventional hardware-defined systems. Why don't we take a look at a video that shows the audience how Nutanix HCI works?
Sounds good.
Nutanix AOS is the industry's most advanced hyperconverged infrastructure software, combining storage, networking, compute, and virtualization into one solution. Nutanix aggregates the storage from each node of an HCI cluster, creating a fully distributed storage fabric that protects your business-critical data while providing enterprise-class capabilities like deduplication and compression, snapshots and cloning, data encryption, and more. So now, IT teams no longer have to manage complex and costly storage arrays from EMC, NetApp, and others. And because AOS runs all enterprise applications, you never have to hop between management consoles. Unlike competing HCI solutions that lock you into proprietary technology, AOS supports all popular hypervisors, including AHV, our built-in hypervisor, for added flexibility. Getting started with Nutanix is easy. You can begin with just 3 or 4 nodes or servers and expand one node at a time, non-disruptively, to increase capacity linearly. For smaller edge deployments, like remote offices, AOS runs on 1 or 2 servers for lower-cost installations. If you're not sure about the best form factor, Nutanix AOS can be deployed as a turnkey appliance or as software for servers that you choose. With Nutanix, there's no more vendor lock-in. Then there's management. All storage, compute, virtualization, and networking resources are managed via Prism, our elegantly simple administrative console. So managing operations with disconnected software is now a thing of the past. Prism, in conjunction with Prism Pro, leverages powerful machine learning technology, which reduces time-consuming IT operations to a single click, including installation, capacity planning, remediation, and software updates, while reducing the total cost of ownership of data center operations by up to 40%. And because cloud-based disaster recovery is built into AOS and Prism, you can quickly and easily protect your applications in the cloud. More than 12,000 enterprises, including nearly 40% of the Global 2000, rely on Nutanix to modernize their IT infrastructure. And now, so can you. See how modernized infrastructure can help you solve your customer problems, accelerate your hybrid cloud journey, and reach your business outcomes. Get in touch and evaluate Nutanix AOS today.
That's great, Param. So tell us about the key differentiator for Nutanix.
Certainly, Yaniv. So for Nutanix, our key differentiator is what we call one-click simplicity, and also our robust management platform, Prism. It'd be great to see Prism in action. Why don't I have our resident expert, Matt Slaughton, talk about all the great features that Prism has to offer for our audience.
Let's go.
Prism is a single UI that an administrator can use to manage their environment. Prism is fully integrated into the Nutanix architecture, so it isn't necessary to use AHV to take advantage of Prism for cluster management. Whether you're on vSphere or on Hyper-V, you'll still be able to use Prism. To dig a little bit deeper, Prism provides simple centralized access for administrators to configure, monitor, and manage virtual environments. Prism is powered by advanced data analytics and heuristics and rich automation, and combines several aspects of data center management into a single, easy-to-use solution. Using machine learning, Prism can also mine large volumes of system data easily and quickly and generate actionable insights for optimizing all aspects of virtual infrastructure management. Let's talk about what Prism can do. Historically, managing a data center's infrastructure components has consumed the majority of engineers' time. Prism has removed these time-consuming tasks and simplified the rest to a few mouse clicks. So in this section, we'll walk you through Prism's different capabilities. The first thing you see is a cluster summary that reviews your Nutanix cluster. You receive a count of blocks and hosts and their model numbers, along with how many hosts are part of the cluster, and a count of newly discovered hosts. The cluster's total available compute capacity is presented in terms of the amount of CPU and the total usable memory. Prism presents multiple lists to inform administrators of the top performing hosts for I/O, bandwidth, memory usage, and CPU usage. Another important part of managing a cluster is the ability to expand it. Prism lets you scale clusters with minimal effort by discovering new nodes that have been cabled and attached to the network. When the system discovers new nodes, they become available for you to either add to an existing cluster or to create a new one. When you choose to expand a cluster, the interface presents any available new nodes and allows you to select which ones should be prepared and added to the existing cluster. If necessary, the system images new nodes with the correct hypervisor to match the other nodes in the cluster. This process allows you to add one node or multiple nodes without changing the workflow. Prism offers one-click upgrades for each product within a cluster. The one-click upgrade process downloads the next version or allows you to upload manually as needed. Each upgrade process is a non-disruptive workflow that follows a rolling upgrade flow through the clusters on a node-by-node basis. Before beginning the upgrade, the system performs a series of pre-upgrade and health checks on the cluster that it must pass before proceeding. Once the upgrade is completed for every node in the cluster, a final health check runs before finalizing the process. Prism one-click upgrades are available for AOS, which includes Prism, the App Mobility Fabric, AMF, and the Distributed Storage Fabric, DSF. There are also updates for hypervisor version, host firmware, foundation, Nutanix files, and Nutanix Cluster Check, or NCC. Storage management views within Prism have a look and feel similar to the cluster management views already discussed. The storage-focused views offers an overview of the storage environment, giving you important performance charts, data reduction metrics, capacity summaries, and important alerts and warnings. When administrators require further details about storage services, they can use the detailed table view. This screen provides three primary views that offer insight into the storage constructs within a cluster: volume groups, containers, and storage pools. The table view elegantly displays the configuration settings for each container, capacity metrics, and several performance charts. The VM view provides the same kind of overview summary that the cluster and storage management views offer. The VM summary delivers VM counts as well as VM power status. Highlighted CPU and memory usage statistics focus on provisioned amounts versus reserved amounts. You can also see the top VM consumers for IOPS, latency, memory usage, and CPU usage. Prism network management features convey networking configuration and metrics for analysis. Prism collects network data for virtual machines from the configured hypervisor and from configured physical network switches via SNMP. In addition, when Prism is managing a cluster running AHV, you can create new VM networks directly from Prism. All you need to fill in is the network name and corresponding VLAN ID. Once the network has been created, you can assign it to both new and existing VMs. The data protection overview summarizes the number of remote sites and protection domains, giving you a quick look into the cluster's data protection. Charts report replication data transfer bandwidth, as well as a list of the top remote sites by bandwidth consumption. This report lets an organization easily understand the bandwidth that replication is consuming, whether something is operating abnormally, and which sites use the most resources. Administrators can also see ongoing replication, pending replication, and successful replication tasks, so they can recognize if any tasks are being held up, or simply verify that replication is completing successfully. When it comes to managing your infrastructure, virtually everything you need is in Prism. It simplifies everything from deployment and management to scaling and support. It's a single pane of glass, it eliminates the need for multiple management interfaces, and dramatically changes the way an administrator approaches their environment. It lets IT teams handle routine work quickly and easily so they can focus on what they do best, which is adding value to the business through application and service delivery. And that, really, is the goal of Prism, as is with all Nutanix products. Simplicity, power, and flexibility, all without complications or compromise.
Simplicity is definitely key. But workloads running in the cloud need paramount security. Tell us about the security perspective with Nutanix Stack.
Certainly, Yaniv. So the network is the foundation for a connected enterprise. And the partnership between Nutanix and OVHcloud actually brings the connected enterprise to the fore. So security becomes of paramount importance, as you mentioned. Nutanix delivers advanced network security services, provides visibility into virtual networking, and provides application-centric protection from network threats, and provides automation of common networking operations. Let's see a short video again with our resident expert, Matt Slaughton, talk about the Nutanix network security aspects of the stack.
All right.
Vendors and multiple approaches are leading to security gaps. Each one of these vendors has a narrow, fragmented view of the infrastructure with an even narrower view of security. The modern application can be comprised of multiple physical servers and virtual machines. In some cases, applications may not even be running on-prem. As a result, organizations have little idea how systems and hardware connect physically or over a network. With all this rapid change, the approaches to security are struggling to keep up. Traditional methods that are focused on infrastructure, such as implementing network segmentation via perimeter firewalls, have failed to protect the IT environment. Perimeter-based security traditionally only protects the environment from external threats, and it can be difficult to leverage them to restrict internal traffic or prevent laterally spreading attacks. When compliance requirements dictate controls be in place, policy writers are challenged to implement solutions in the least complex and most efficient manner. Combined with the complexity of many modern applications, this can become a tough problem to solve. All these concerns can be addressed by a new approach that considers the need to protect traffic behind their perimeter firewall in a manner that delivers more agility, flexibility, and security. That's exactly what an application-centric microsegmentation approach to security provides. Nutanix Flow delivers advanced networking security services, providing visibility into the virtual network. Fully integrated into Nutanix, it provides application-centric protection from network threats through microsegmentation, and also automates common networking operations. So what is microsegmentation, and how can an app-centric approach solve the problem? Microsegmentation is the concept of creating granular network policies between applications and services. Microsegmentation essentially reduces the security perimeter to a fence around each service or virtual machine. The fence can permit only necessary communication between application tiers or other logical boundaries, thus making it very difficult for cyber threats to spread laterally from one system to another. Being app-centric means shifting the focus away from individual VMs and their network identity to the applications themselves. Doing this application-based segmentation decouples policy from the network, simplifying policy administration and management. Security policies are mapped to logical groups or categories of VMs. Once the application is assigned to a group or category, the associated policy follows the VM wherever it goes. Flow applies security rules between all applications and VMs within the data center, thus adding internal protection behind your perimeter firewall. Making microsegmentation application-centric further streamlines security operations by enabling the ability to define high-level policies without needing details about the underlying infrastructure or network identifiers. The granularity of software-defined app-centric security allows policy writers to easily apply security controls surgically, only where they're needed to meet regulatory requirements. Now, let's take a look at flow architecture. The Nutanix management plane, Prism Central, provides policy administration for Nutanix Flow. Prism Central and the registered Nutanix clusters combine to form the control plane for Flow. The data plane is the Nutanix AHV host, Open vSwitch, which processes VM network traffic. Hopefully now you have a better picture of why Flow exists and some of the main benefits.
Whoa, power-packed features. Management, virtualization, hyperconvergence, along with OVHcloud's next-gen hardware. Looks like we have a winning combination here, Param.
Wait. There's one more thing, Yaniv, that I want to talk to you about. And that is that this joint solution between Nutanix and OVHcloud also provides the ability to run container workloads in OVHcloud. Here are some more details of running container workloads in OVHcloud in this particular video.
Let's do it.
Carbon is an enterprise-grade Kubernetes certified distribution that simplifies the provisioning, operations, and lifecycle management of Kubernetes with a native experience. Carbon makes it simple to deploy a highly available Kubernetes cluster and operate web-scale workloads. Nutanix Carbon also supports wizard-driven Kubernetes deployments across AOS. With Carbon, you get highly available cluster provisioning, lifecycle management, integrated storage, networking, monitoring, logging, and alerting. This makes the management of Kubernetes a cakewalk. Carbon provides 100% upstream Kubernetes and Docker. There are no restrictions. Feel free to use third-party ISVs. You can also actively contribute to the Kubernetes project and use Carbon APIs when required. Carbon adds value to the business by managing most of the operations behind the scenes. Carbon makes the following complex Kubernetes operations invisible: installation, persistent state, upgrades and patching, streamlined security, integrated telemetry services such as logging, monitoring, and alerting, and common domain services such as data and app infrastructure. Carbon has CSI integrated in it, and using CSI, any pod or container can easily mount a file system that's supplied either by iSCSI with volumes or NFS with files. You don't have to lose sleep over upgrades and monitoring. These administrative tasks are cared for by Carbon. Carbon also offers zero downtime upgrades for Node OS and Carbon Service, as well as on-demand scaling up or down. This allows customers to easily operate web-scale workloads on a Kubernetes platform. Carbon is Kubernetes certified. The Kubernetes Conformance Program benefits include guaranteed portability and compatibility. Users get to run their workloads everywhere without any hiccups. Timely updates to remain certified. Vendors need to provide the latest version of Kubernetes yearly or more frequently, so you can be sure that you'll always have access to the latest features the community has been working hard to deliver. And confirmability. Any end user can confirm that their distribution or platform remains conformant by running Sonobui, the identical open source conformance application. In conclusion, Nutanix Carbon allows organizations to be more agile and efficient. More importantly, they can save the cost of hiring additional dedicated resources to manage their infrastructure and help alleviate the pain of dealing with day-to-day monitoring and further assist with the uptime of the Kubernetes cluster. With Carbon, IT teams can focus on the business, increase the rate of innovation, and decrease time to market, all while developers enjoy the fast, efficient, native Kubernetes experience. We hope you've enjoyed this introduction to Nutanix Carbon. And as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Param. Thanks for everyone. And we are ready right now to chat with you all in live.